Hello friends, welcome back to the shorthand tutorial class. In this video, you are going to learn on two forms for app. In our previous video, part of introductions, we explained that shorthand deal with sound, not a spelling, but only app, even if it is not sounded, or even if it is not a voice, you have to indicate it. As you know that there is some words that R is silent, and there is some word that R is not silent. That is why in shorthand, R, it has so many principles, and it has two forms. We have ray off and R down. Let us see it. We have ray off, which is like this, and we have R down, which is R down like this. These are the two forms of R that we have in shorthand, and it has principles where you are going to use ray up and where you are going to use R down. This principle will tell us where you are going to use ray up or where you are going to use R down. Number one, this principle says when a word begins with R, use ray up. That is when a word use when a word begin with R, you are going to use ray up. Let us see example. Maybe if I ask you write wrong in shorthand. So now the first word in this example is R. Then this means that the word begin with R. Don't say what? Don't say the word begin with W. Shorthand begin with sound, not a spelling. This means that the sound we had is wrong. This means that the word begin with R. Since word begin with R, we are going to use ray off. Let us see example. Wrong. This is short out. It's equals to place boy. It is above the line. Your outline should be above the line. Wrong. Wrong is like this. Then another example here you say rod. Rod. This is second place boy on the line. Rod. Rod. Then another example maybe we say return. Return is like this. Now we have short. This is short A, not E. In shorthand, this is short A. Now you can't say return, but return because this is short A. Then short A is second place boy. Now, since the word begins with R, you are going to use ray up. Then this is ray up. Return. This is what ray off. Then this is short A. Then we have long A here. Return. So these are the three examples given. You can think a lot of examples where R begins a word. Wherever you have R begins with R, we are going to use ray off. Another example, another principle number 2 says when a word begins with the combination of vowel R, use R down. So this when we have the combination, when a word begins with the combination of vowel R, this means that when we have the vowel then followed by R, you are going to use R down. E.g., let us give example. Let us example. We say for example we say N. We can see in this example the word begins with the combination of vowel then and R. This is vowel A, short A, then followed by R. So we are going to use R down. As in, this is an example. Then we say A, we are going to use R down. If you have to use R down, we have to write R down like this R. Then you have your L. Then you are going to place your vowel, which is second place vowel. And we have the sound of E at the end, which is here in the silent position, which come at the end, because you say not, this is E, not Y, because you say the shorthand deal with sound. That is what the sound should be if. Then another example, maybe you say army. Now we need to look at the combination of vowel R. So that is why army should be army. Then we write your last vowel, which is short, because you say army. The vowel sound at the end is ni. That is why you can see the vowel, which is e. Then I will get the combination. Another example, maybe we say O. Now look at clear example. Here we have the combination of vowel and R. Where O, this is short R, which is first vowels. Should be like this O. Then these are some of the examples where the R begin with a combination of vowel R. So when this happens, the principle says we are going to use R. Then let us take example. For instance, number 3, when a word ends with the combination of R vowel, use array of. So this principle says when you have the combination of R vowel at the end, look at the end. This we say begins. So, and then this we say vowel R. This is we say R vowel. If it is vowel R, use R down. But if it is R vowel, use array of. That is why you can see we are going to use when we have the combination of R vowel, we are going to use array of. Okay, what are the examples? We say e.g. example. We can say memory. In this word, you can see we have the combination of R, then the vowel. This is a vowel. Because you say memory, the sound is E, short E. That is why you can see, you say this is a vowel. That is why we have the combination of R and vowel. Which vowel? Short E, memory. We are going to write memory. We have the sound of E. Look at the sound of E. Then we have another example. We say marry. Marry. This is a combination of, at the end, we have the combination of R vowel, R and your vowel, which is E. Marry. Marry is like this. Marry. With a particular vowel because of short A. Another example, maybe you can give. We said Perry. Perry. Then we say fairy is like this. We have the combination of R vowel. Then for instance number 4, and the first one number 4 says when a word ends with R, use R down. So when we have the word end with R, use for instance. We say when a word ends with R, use R down. So what are the examples? Where word ends with R, like car. The word ends with R. Look at it here. So we use R down. So this is R down. Car. Now your outline should be above the line because of short. Don't forget, always we are saying the vowel, the first vowel in a word determine an outline. Determine where your outline should be, either on the line, above the line, also the line. So car should be like this, car. This is short R, car. Then another example, maybe we say, you can say O, because word end with R, use R down. O. Then for instance, number 5, downward before M. Before M. So you can use downward before M. Downward R before M. AG. For instance, let us see example. We say room. Now we are going to use downward R before M. When a word before R, you have M, so you are going to use R down. Room. Now we use we say room like this, because this is room, this is long U, and that is at the flexible. That is why you can see our outline above through the line. So you are don't forget the principle said that when as the flexibles come between two strokes, we are going to place the vowel sign inside the foundation of a second stroke. This means that it is here room. Let us say room. Now you are going to use what? The R down before M. That is why you see wrong. As wrong is R down M, because R followed M. So wrong is like this. Then we can give another example. We say maybe okay. That was maybe like this. Number 6. You can use array of followed by T, D, J, and E. So you are going to use array of when it follows T, D, J, and R. When you have the R, then the R in that word it follows T, D, J. Then we are going to use an example. Let us give example. Let's say arch. What follows after R? T. So we use array of arch is like this, and arch above the line because of your vowel arch. Maybe you say arid. D now fall here. Now after R we have D. Use array of arid. Then you have your vowel that come between two strokes. That is why it will be here arid. Okay, we can say as. You can say F. Then followed R followed is. It is here. You can see R. As is like you say you use R, then as F. This is F. So these are the examples when R followed T, D, J. Then for instance number 7, use upwards. Use upwards after straight stroke, or you can say straight up stroke. Straight up stroke, you know, straight up stroke is maybe we have re or ye, we have way, all these straight up stroke. So when you are going to use upwards, that is what that is to say re of when it is followed or after it is straight up stroke. E.g., you can give an example here. Maybe say lawyer. Now we have straight. After straight stroke, which is it is Y. This is ye, and ye is, don't forget, in our previous when we discussed about straight up stroke. So ye it is up stroke. So that is why we say after straight up stroke, then you are going to use array of lawyer. Lawyer is like this is L. Then we have your ye, which is is like this. Then you will have your abba, lawyer. Lawyer. This is your lawyer. As you can see, because this is what? This is straight up stroke, which is ye, and immediately followed by ab. You can see it like this. Let us give another example. Maybe you say rear. Rear is like this. Rear. You are rear first ray, then another ray. You have two ray because this is first one. Then immediately after this ray, we have. Don't forget that our previous example we say when R begins a word, you are going to use ray. That is why the word begins. And then immediately after R, we have ray, or which is straight up stroke. So here it's like this. Because you have a void between a stroke, that is why you can see it inside the position of a second stroke. Okay, let us give another example. We say rare. Rare. This is on the second place. Rare. So this is another example where we say use upward R after straight up stroke. So then another one is 8. Number 8, principles of R, we say it is better to use array of in the middle of a word. In the middle of a word. So when you have up in the middle of a word, you are going to use array of. For example, we say 30. Now the R in the middle. So use what I say easy. Use array of 30. Then you have R, then you have T. 30. You can see 30 here. This is your vowel. Don't forget this is your vowel, which is E, short E at the end. The sound of E at the end of a word represents E. That's why you can see it. Then another example, we say March. March. Now you can see R at the middle of a word. Your array or you can see March. But let us have 2 lines underneath indicating that this is a capital letter. In shorthand, when you have 2 lines underneath, so this means that the words start with a capital letter. March. Now we can see the R in the middle of a word. Let us give another example. We say 40. 40. Now another example, 40. This is A. Then use Adam. This is short R. That is why you see in the second place. Now you can see R in the middle of a word. So there are so many examples to be considered about 2 forms for R. That is why we say it has so many principles, about 8 principles. Before writing any outlines, we better pay attention. Which are am I going to use? Am I going to use array of or R down? But based on these principles, if you master it, you don't have any problems. So you can just be able to write any outlines whenever you have the R, either R down or array of. Okay, thank you very much for watching. The next tutorial we're going to discuss about another 2 forms for heads. We have head down, we have head off. Thank you very much for watching.